That's it.
One man should have all that power. Jaron boots Ennis with a
All right.
first round knockout.
I got to be brutally honest with you.
Welcome to Las Vegas. Ennis hits the jackpot tonight.
Damn, they got to help him back to the corner.
Wrapped up in such a short fight as Ennis looks to all four corners of this ring to celebrate, and a very rough moment for Thomas Dulorme.
You know, dude is good, but let's cut the shit. I was never high on Tomas Dulorme. Maybe it's just my opinion. Looking at his resume, and I'm going to keep this going live, even though this is on my DVR. Looking at his resume, 25-6-1 with 16 KOs. He is now 1-4-1 in his last 6 fights. When Tomas Dulorme was back on HBO all those years ago, they was really trying to hype him up to be like the next Miguel Cotto. I never really thought that he was a 147-pound fighter. Now, this is what we got to do. We got to talk about the bad before the good. We got to be critical because he's good, meaning this guy right here, Jaron Boots Ennis. He's good. But the thing is, I'm not ready to say he beats guys like Terrence Crawford, Keith Thurman, Danny Garcia. Not yet. Now, let's see if we can get you the knockout. Hold on, I'm going to try to get it for you. There was one in the back of the head he hit him with. Not in the back of the head, not illegally, but right there on that ear. Like one of the perfect equilibrium shots. I'm going to see if we can get you another replay, but Showtime be real funky with their highlights. Even though it's legal for me to use via fair use, they still be on some bullshit. Here we go right here. Right there, perfect. Right on the ear. Equilibrium. Bend the knee. So you can tell he was already messed up. Like when somebody's on that type of stance right there, on the ground, they're a little messed up. And now he's sitting there contemplating whether he should go on. But he gets up because he's always been known as being a tough fighter. Let's get you one more clip. This is the stoppage. Boots Ennis, 28-0 with 26 KOs, very impressive. Him and Virgil Ortiz are being called the future of the 147-pound division. Those are the next guys in line to where once they get a title shot against who? Right now, the champions are your Dennis Ugas, Errol Spence, Terrence Crawford. Whoever out of those three is going to hold all of the belts because it's looking like that's the way we're going. Oh, you got to factor in Sean Porter, too, because he's fighting Terrence Crawford November the 20th. Between Virgil Ortiz and one of these guys are going to fight one of them. And right now, it's cool when you're beating up guys like Sergey Limpinets, who to me is also a 140-pound fighter. Boots Ennis is a big dude up in there. Tomas Dulorme, long in the tooth. He's just not there yet, you know. And Chris Van Herden, yeah, Errol Spence had beat him, you know. I'm just not ready to say it yet. I'm just not ready to say it yet. However, him and Virgil Ortiz, they're in the same boat. They're putting on impressive performances against guys. Let me turn it up.
Boots Ennis.
I always like getting that full shot of them. Damn, I didn't get
In the words of AC/DC, Jaron Ennis went down to Sin City. Jaron Ennis said he was going to win in Sin City.
Let's listen to his post-fight interview because I hear it's pretty good.
He systematically breaks opponent.
But he could also knock you out with one punch.
And he did just that. Let's go to Jim Gray.
Please take a time out. Like the video. Only takes a couple
All right,
seconds.
thank you very
Subscribe.
much, Merle. Boots, congratulations. That was quick work.
Yeah.
How would you describe your display?
It was a good knockout. But you know me. I want to show my skills and my ability, but I couldn't, and I got a big knockout. But I just thank Thomas Dulorme for the opportunity, and on to the next. Let's get them the big names. Let's go.
So is there satisfaction in having your 11th first-round knockout, or is there frustration because you'd like a little more work?
No, I ain't too worried about it. As long as I'm winning and doing what I'm supposed to be doing, that's the beautiful thing for me. Yeah, we got it early. That's fine with me. We don't get paid for overtime.
Real early, and we're going to take a look at it. If you take a glance right here at this monitor, tell us about that big overhand right that you hit him with from your vantage point.
Yeah, I see he leaned to the right side every time, and we worked on that shot in the back room. Touch, and then chop, and that's what I caught him with.
And you know when you hit a man in the ear, he's not going to recover with that equilibrium. So did you know it was over then?
Yeah, I knew it was over. I just had to take my time and not rush anything. He came in with a little shot. I had my hand up, but I seen
he was game for a second there, wasn't he?
I was just, figuring him out. You know me. It don't take me that long to figure him out, and I did what I did.
Wish I had that.
All right, here's the second knockdown that ended it. It was a nice three-punch combination. Tell us about it.
Catching his jab, straight left hand, right hook, straight left hand, down the pike. That's it. Everything that I displayed today, we worked on that in the back room. Catch a jab, combination. Every time he throw right back, and you see the ending.
So now you've got this perfect record, undefeated. Are you ready to take that step and now fight for a championship?
I've been ready 2 years ago. That's line them up the top 5 guys. You already know.
Spence, Ugas, Porter, Crawford winner.
Spence, Ugas, Porter, Crawford, Keith Thurman. Y'all know I'm coming. Philly in that building. We taking over this welterweight division. Let's get it.
Well, that's an awful lot of names. Can you narrow it down in your mind who you'd like?
I'm ranked number 3 in the IBF, so Earl Spence.
All right. Sounds good. Congratulations, Boots. Fun to watch.
Thank you. Appreciate you having me.
All right, appreciate you. All right, Morrow, back to you.
All right, Jim.
You know, the sad thing about boxing is that we're probably never going to see Errol Spence and Boots Ennis fight. You know, Errol Spence is on his way to 154. You know, he's already got fights that he can have that'll be much more lucrative and profitable than Boots Ennis. Boots Ennis, by the way, is not a PBC fighter. And also, listen, my job is not to suck dick, okay? All right? I eat vagina. I love it. I don't eat as much as I should or as much as I used to back in the day, but I love it. I'm from Philly, but just because I'm from Philly don't mean I'm going to be just like, oh, Boots Ennis is going to do this. Boots Ennis is going to do that. You see what I'm saying? I met somebody like several weeks ago in like a deli, and they were talking to me about how why Boots can't get the big fights. Well, if you don't know, and I wish I had the image for you, this fight took place in the Mandalay Bay in Las Vegas. I don't know how many that seats, but it wasn't a lot of people there, bro. Like it was people were wondering why it's so dark in there because they turned all the lights off so you can't see the empty seats. And also he was the co-feature. Even though a lot of people felt this was his card, but there was no championship on the line, Jamal James versus Butaev was the main event. So he's still got some growing to do. Right now, I believe he's still with Cameron Duncan. Cameron Duncan also works with Terrence Crawford. That's why you probably won't be seeing Terrence Crawford say bad things about him. But dude is good. Dude is good. But right now, it's just, he's got some work to do. Now, to talk about the 147-pound division as a whole, as you know, Errol Spence, WBC, IBF, just so happens it looks like Errol Spence and your Dennis Ugas had a contract and they were going to fight February the 22nd. But Ugas is involved in that WBA tournament. I talked about that in my Jamal James video that I did before this, actually. But your Dennis Ugas is going to be fighting Stanionis. Virgil Ortiz is one fight away from a title eliminator, if not, a title eliminated for the WBC and Terrence Crawford's WBO. So he's going to be ordered. For example, this is how it's going to work. Virgil Ortiz is going to be ordered to fight somebody to be the mandatory for Errol Spence. I highly doubt it'll be Mikey Garcia. Don't be surprised if it's Evernessian, or Keith Thurman, and it goes down the line. So Mikey Garcia turned it down. Then it goes to Evernessian, he turned it down. It goes to Thurman, he turns it down, and so on. But then you got this right here. Now, he's targeting the IBF. He already said it. But he's already the mandatory. So he would be the next mandatory after Abdul Khorov. For means that Errol Spence would have to fight him. Errol Spence has to fight him next if he does not fight Ugas or Terrence Crawford. And then Ennis would be the next mandatory. So basically what I'm saying is he's not looking at a title shot for at least another year. 18 months, something like that. And he's still got time. He's young, 24 years old. But in the meantime, who does he fight, until then? Because to me, I'm sorry. Wins over Chris Van Herden, Limpinets, and Dulorme, doesn't tell me or get me like, yo, he can fucking beat one of the champions right now. Nah, dog. You know, that's not how I roll. You see what I'm saying? Now, do I think it would be a good fight? Do I think he has a chance? Yeah, but he hasn't shown me. Like I'm all about resumes. You know, he passes the eye test to be like, yo, him and Errol Spence, that's a 50-50 fight. But I can't say that now looking at the resume. You see what I'm saying? I mean, look, this is who he just fought. You know, for somebody like him to try to stay active and get fights and build up his name, yeah, Dulorme's a good name. But now he's got to go even further. See if they can get a Jesse Vargas after this. Something like that. You know, Jesse Vargas' name is linked to other people. You know, looking at the rankings, see if you can get, it ain't going to be Conor Ben, trust me. Give me an Ivan Galoo, you know, somebody like that. You know, Evernessian. You know, Castillo Clayton. You know, that's, you know, I'm talking about at the level that he's at right now. You know, fuck it. Give me a Kavalaskis if they can pull that off some type of way. And I'm talking about fights that can be made. Jose Zito Lopez, boom, that's a fight I would love. You know, those are fights, that's like a nice fight of like, yo, oh shit, because you know, Lopez is going to come to fight. And he's got a solid resume of beating guys and, you know, and losing the guys in close fights or fights that, you know, held some weight. But me personally, you know, if they, you know, go after him for the interim, if you know, the IBF allows it. But right now, you know, he's doing everything he's supposed to be doing. But I'm just not with all the saying he can beat, you know, people saying stuff like he can beat Jamel Charlo now. That may be true, but I don't feel comfortable saying it. That's everybody's opinions. But I'm like, hold up. Let's just slow down a little bit. You know, I get all the fight night hype and everything, you know, but it was Tomas Dulorme. You see what I'm saying? Tomas Dulorme. Like, you know, let's cool it a little bit. But overall, shout out to him, though, because, listen, he's impressive. He's good. But we just got to see him do a little bit more. Oh, and I can say that he would beat Jamal James. I can say that. You know, I can say that. Anyway, I'm TstreeT Controversy with FightView360.com. Cover every single major fight. Please subscribe.